Hello, everyone. I am Noxious Bear, also known as Nox, and this here is Diraj, also known as Raj. We're going to do a training video today. First up, you're going to notice you'll always have an arc tool. This can be used for melee purposes, though that is not recommended, since most enemies are either explosive when on the ground, or flying, or incredibly armored. This is also used to breach objects such as cars, back doors. Like, see here.
Found a spot. Here.
Break it open. This creates noise and it takes time to breach. Once breached, you can search the object and you can loot it. It'll take time to loot because objects are revealed slowly. However, Raj has completely looted his.
Look here. Some recent raider activity.
It'll take, since it creates noise, however, it doesn't attract Arc, which is the enemy you'll be facing. It will alert other raiders to your position. Not directly, merely through noise. Now, if I could find, aha. Looting. When looting a container, objects will be revealed slowly as if you are actually looting it. Different objects can contain different other objects. That's the purpose of other locations. Some locations can contain more electrical components, some more mechanical or weapons. Depends on the place. Cars can contain oil and rusted tools, things like that. Then we have your equipment. Here you have things like zip lines, medical, herbal, like any kind of bandages, and a defibrillator. This is a very valuable tool. It allows you to revive people from death very fast and allows you to revive enemy players. Now, Raj, if you could go up here, this is a zip line. If you would kindly fall down from here
Over there.
onto the floor. Did you take any damage? Up D-pad would be for saying things. Alright. Here we have a damaged player. Alright, you can do that again. So, here we have a damaged player. When you pull out do you have a shield equipped? Or did you not take any damage from that? I can use bandages. So, here we have a damaged player. When you bring out a healing item, you can either use it on yourself, but I have not taken any damage, or you can use it on another player, which will slowly heal them. Every item in this game can slowly heal a player. However, there's only one item that can instantly heal, which is Vita Shot, and it is very rare. Here we have a shield that it's being just equipped, which slowly charges. Now, if Raj can jump off when it is fully charged, you can see that the shield does not take damage when fall damage is put into the equation. But when his shield is also slightly damaged, you can recharge it using this, a shield recharger. Yeah. Next is your weapon. You only can carry 2 weapons, and that weapon could carry various attachments depending on the weapon. More rarity means it's more powerful in certain aspects, such as my anvil. It is a heavy weapon, meaning it has heavy ammo. It has a mag size of 6, and it is single action. You can also upgrade to 4 levels, which increases various things, such as my thing has reduced dispersion recovery time and increased fire rate. And its attachment has a tech mod, which I do not have anything for, and a muzzle and a muzzle modification. Because I have a silencer 3. There are various types of silencers, compensators, and dispersers. Ah, yes, flashlight. Thank you for bringing that up. This is the flashlight. It can make you more visible to other raiders and maybe Ark. I am not sure about that. But it is quite useful for indoors and darker areas. You can also run unarmed, which allows you to run around unarmed and makes you faster. It also makes you less threatening to any other raiders in the area. What else do I have? Oh, the emote wheel. Don't shoot, thank you, yes. Greet, team up. You could carry 2 other emotes or replace those with other commands. And no. There's also where you can say certain things or change the emote loudness, such as loud, subtle, automatic, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You can also ping things using what would be your R1. Don't avoid that. Loot here, watching here, need healing, group up here, attack, I heard something, someone's been here. You can also show this with other raiders too. Okay, now onto the inventory system. Here we have various objects. Yes, perfect example. Hold on. If you could stay right there, do that again.
Don't shoot!
Here we see the voice comm system in action. When Raj is far away, we cannot hear him personally, so he comes into a radio system. Now say it.
Hey, don't shoot!
Here he actually says something. This will be the same case for every player when talking to another player outside their team. It'll come into a surround sound system that can indicate where they are specifically. It can also pierce through walls as long as they're not thick enough, as in like quarter-mile thick. But that's that. But let's get on to the inventory system, shall we? In the inventory system, you can have various slots, depending on what you pick. Quick uses for your grenades, healing items, and other equipment uses. They can be various things. You can swap them out at any time. Same thing with the shield. Only thing is, the shield item has 3 equipable items, and most of the time you will not be able to pick the other 3, which are medium and light shields. I mean heavy shields. Light shields you can take whenever you want, even without an augment I will get to. Medium and heavy shields reduce damage as well as increase the amount of shields you have. And so they also have more durability. I will get into durability. But those are the 2 things. An augment can do various things depending on what they do. Some augments focus more on combat, looting, or tactical. Those are the 3 main ones. They're a lot, such as tactical, looting, allows you to carry more in both within backpack slot and weight, which is what is up here. 17.6, no, 17.8 out of 60. Once you reach 60 or over, you are over encumbered. Your stamina and sprint speed are reduced, so it is incredibly impaired. Over here we have weapon slots. You can store weapons to be able to use as your 2 primaries. You can swap these out whenever you need. Raj, do you mind dropping that? So I can show them? Thank you. See, we have Diraj's Rattler. You can swap them out whenever you need.
Yeah.
It also has various attachments you can attach at any time, as long as you have the attachment in your inventory. But that's that. You could also take it out whenever you need. You cannot put weapons in the safe pocket. The safe pocket can make you store weapons that you do not want to get rid of at all. I mean, items they don't want rid of, such as rusted tools. I mean, well, rusted tools are very common and don't really require anything. They're not very good. But once you put rusted tools or any item in the safe pocket, you cannot lose that item. Such, for instance, if I were to get killed, downed, and head back to Speranza, which is the main location that you will be staying for the duration of this game, rusted tools will not leave your inventory. If I take rusted tools out and put heavy ammo in, then heavy ammo will stay in there and will not leave that. Safe pocket is one of your most essential things in Arc Raiders. What else? Alright, here's the next thing. Movement. Here we have a ledge, one that you could simply hop over with no stamina problem, or you can run and hold your jump button to mantle it. It's slow, and I'm pretty sure you can still shoot while doing this. No, you can't. We're going to head and ignore that for now. Do not engage. We're going to head in here. Here we have a door, more specifically a closable door. When closed, it'll look like this. These doors could sometimes lock and hold valuable loot behind them. However, they have the danger of harboring secrecy, such as an enemy player. You will be the enemy player in this case. There's no friendly fire, by the way. I do not know if someone's there unless they are loudly running around, making footsteps. I am completely blind. The only way for this to be locked off, aside from requiring a key, is a breach, or more what's it called? It's a specific tool that you can make that essentially blocks it off and has you breach it, which makes very audible noise, which is very good for the enemy player. When opened, I could be surprise attacked, as Raj is doing here. So, doors are a very key choke point. Also, Arc cannot open doors. So if you're running from an indoor Arc, close the door, and they will be completely locked off. But doors are also very audible, so using them can alert other players. Do note that. Here we can see a simple looting bag. You can find these a lot of places. Once you start searching, items will be slowly revealed to the player, such as if you were actually looting. You can also see my weight go up as I am looting the container. But that is that. Alright, here we have the same exact thing that Raj has opened previously. You will bring out your arc tool, or it'll be automatically equipped when trying to breach. I have several things that increase breaching speed and silence. You can see it does the same function as search once breached. You can keep that one.
Hey, some metal brackets.
Another thing, you will frequently find these things.
An arc probe.
Crashed arc probes. You can find live ones out and about, landing and taking off. When breaching, it'll make various noises to try and attract either an arc threat or a player threat. Once it is done, ignore him. Once breached, you can open it up and it'll carry various arc-related loot. I'll give you that after this is done. Ah. As Shawnee has just pointed out, 10 minutes left. You will see this timer at the top of my screen. This timer is how long you have in-game before an arc orbiter enters the area. When an arc orbiter lands at 0-0, you die. Instantly. There is no get back unless you have stuff in your safe pocket. The popular way to exit would be through an elevator or some kind of exit. There are various kinds of elevators.
Head home at the east
Let's head
elevator.
home at the east elevator.
We're going to go to an elevator, which actually has a shutdown time. You can see when it's doing that. This is the map. It can also show you various looting spots. So we're going to head over to there, and we're going to show you how exactly elevators work. It's going to be one of the most common ways you get out of a area. All right. Another thing regarding the inventory system, you can shift parts around to create however organization you want, but that is not what I'm here to do. Here, you can also have other items. This can actually sell for a lot or not, depending on what you want from it. But burned arc circuitry and some like broken parts aren't really important, so you can salvage them in game. In Sparonza, which is the lobby, you can scrap them. No, you can recycle them. It gives you more, but in a quick situation, salvaging can be useful. For example, I just scrapped that burned arc circuitry from. So now I have 4 arc alloy instead of 3. Arc alloy is actually a decent source of money, as well as various resources. You can make secret grenades, light shields, arc mushroom cores, arc circuitry, various things from it. It is quite useful. You can also drop items
Arc alloy.
for you,
Over here.
Raj.
Arc alloy. Here.
Now we're gonna head over to. Wait a second. Ah, shit. Here we see the elevators closing down for east elevator. We're going to have to go to the west elevator
Let's head home at the west elevator.
with only 5 minutes left. Don't worry, we can make it. Here we see an arc orbiter. Or at least the first stages of it, at least. An arc orbiter slowly lands itself in various stages. Stage 1.
Have arc on screen. 5 minutes left. Go find a way home. I repeat, 5 minutes.
The first one happens at 500. When that happens, well, that crashes down. And then the other 2 pieces will slowly crash down within those 5 minutes. When 5 minutes begins, there will only ever be 1 elevator left. And you have to book it to that elevator as to not get killed. Additionally, the 5-minute left music will start playing, which can make the thing very intense. But around 5 minutes, you're essentially the only player left, unless there's another person attempting the same thing. Right. Here we have an elevator. They will always look the same. Here's a call elevator button. There's only ever one of it. Hide behind here. An elevator will also attract Ark's attention and any other player, as you can hear by the blaring sounds coming from it. Dit. Yes, we will talk about enemies later. Thank you for pointing that out, though. It'll make various noises and visual effects, such as the little orange spinning things, siren, as well as sounds and voice lines. When that sound cue happens, it means that the elevator is about to open. Raj is looting a corpse. A spotter corpse, I presume. Ah, here we see another unlucky player has unfortunately died when attempting to leave. You can have that. Ooh, another one too. Ah, shit. Raj, hit the button.
Hey, don't shoot!
Oh, sup.
Hello, Raider?
Here we see other raiders. We're peacefully extracting. That is also the button to extract. It will take around 5 seconds to 7 seconds. I'm not quite sure about the exact numbers, but it'll take a little bit. And you can get killed during this state, and you cannot do anything about it. You can't actually cancel the animation. But this is where you'll be most of, or at least main part of the game. In their Speranza. This is Speranza. This is also one of the most important parts of your gameplay, the skill tree. At the start, you will simply start at these 3 nodes: Agile Croucher, Nimble Climber, and Used to the Weight. These can affect your gameplay very minor. It's the more up ways that you want to pay attention to, though the bottom ones are still important, such as fight or flight, blastborn, and these two. Proficient prior, breaching doors and containers takes less time, and gentle pressure when you make less noise. You make less noise when breaching. English is very hard. Excuse me. These are the mobility ones, such as increasing your stamina, moving around costs less stamina when you're running. Climbing stroll, when walking your stamina regenerates as if you're standing still. Calming stroll. Sturdy ankles, you take less fall damage when falling from non-lethal height. You can slide further and faster. You can climb and vault more quickly. These are the core things you're probably going to want when picking a loadout. As you can see, I prefer survival more than the other two. And so I have exponentially increased the amount of survival stuff I have. There are certain tiers of things, like, for example, broad shoulders increases your maximum weight you carry. It's only by 2.5 or 2. One of those two. But the more you get, it eventually increases to a maximum of 10 increased carry rate. Lucky looters, when looting, there's a chance to reveal twice as many items at once, which is really good for searching things. Then there are other things that only require 1 tier, such as in-round crafting, unlocks the ability to craft field craft items while topside. Traveling Tinkerer increases that ability. Then there are other items that still require that. One of the big things you'll see are these big chunky ones. These require you to... See, look, this one will require you to get 36 points in conditioning, which is this tier. This tree is conditioning. Conducting. It requires you to get 32 points in conducting. I put 40 points into survival, as you can see by this little number down here. Meaning I do not have enough points in the system to be able to unlock this, despite being at it from loaded arms. The same thing happens with these ones, but they're more, I'm pretty sure 15 is required. Yeah, 15 is required. So I put 1 in here, 1 in here, 1 in here. No, this is 3. That is 5. It's 10, and that's 15. Yeah. You require 15 to enter this big first chunky node. Same thing with every single one. But these chunky nodes can be an essential part of your character, especially the end ones. Though Fly Swatter is not a very good one. I picked survival due to its plentifulness of various things. I love this tier. This one allows you to breach security lockers. I will get into that next round. This is a Minesweeper. This is the Minesweeper perk, which allows you to get up close and disable enemy mines. It is very good when you're playing on more hostile lobbies where trappers like to play. See, look, another thing, this is the looting augment. It allows you to carry all this stuff. There are other augments, such as the tactical, combats. These are various types of combats, but they pretty much do similar things. And this is another looting, an upgraded looting. It allows you to carry more, both in weight and inventory. It also increases my safe pocket and my quick use slots. It also gives me an augmented slot, this one specifically, allowing me to carry binoculars. They're allowed you to look at up to 4 times or around 8 to 16 times. There's only 2 settings. But these are very good for scouting out places and looking far ranges. But back to the skill tree. You can only have up to 75 points without going on an expedition. But once you have 75, that's all you're gonna have, unless expeditioning. You can reset the skill tree, but it'll cost more money the more points you put into it. Such as, I now have to pay a $152,000 coins to be able to reset this skill tree. And once that's done, I can pick whatever I want now. I can heavily invest in conditioning or mobility instead of survival, but I love this tier tree. And to my knowledge, the less points you put into it, the cheaper it is to reset. But you can also not go over the 5-point limit on some items. 5 is all you're going to be investing in any single one. What else? The traders. You have to get level ups to be able to trade specific things like higher tier loot and things. Taiwan's gun shop is a very good point of this.
Always better to be over-prepared.
You are right, Taiwan. Or Taiwan. I don't really know.
If you
But
find any weapons just laying around, I'm always on the lookout.
here you can see gray loot, such as sparrows, hairpins, kettles, as well as ammunition. Those items are common loot. You can buy them right off the bat from 10 won. There's also an upgraded pharaoh here, which has an amount you can take, such as it only has stock for one. Once bought, it's out of stock. You cannot buy any. That all requires coin, which is this currency up here. You can trade essentially anything you want for loot. I mean, coin. Essentially everything is worth coin. Amount depends. Such as I could sell these 2 items for 7,200 coin. Confirm, you can never get those items back, but you now have the coin equivalent of that money. You can also buy higher tier items such as the Renegade or Hull Cracker. Hull Cracker is a very powerful item. It's the only item that uses launcher ammo. For now. Not sure about other updates. There are also modifications she shells by the seashore. But there are, as you can see here, different items for modifications, such as extended shotgun mag, extended medium mag, and extended light mag, as well as muzzle brakes that can be equipped to various things, a shotgun choke. Shotguns are very unique, as in they're very specific and unique. A vertical grip, as well as an angled grip, and a compensator. Each of these things can do various things for their thing. They're saying things a lot, aren't I? Any player can technically buy theirs since their individual stock is dependent on player, but there's also a timer on the top right that indicates when it's going to reset. And the better tier of weapons they are, the more damage they do, their handling, all sorts of things, and range. But this is all that from one character. There are several characters. I will get into you two later. We have Lance, our medical doctor robot, who can actually sell us all the medical equipment and some pretty basic augments. Light shield, defibrillator. He's always a jokester. Shield rechargers, adrenaline shot. It's another quick use item. It's very useful for getting from one place to other because it completely restores your stamina and keeps it at that height for around 10 seconds, actually. It says right there. Bandages, pretty basic bandages. I prefer making herbal bandages. See? He also has stock. You can buy 10 of those at a time. Same with sterilized bandages. And these more advanced augments. Looting Mark II is gonna be what you want for a beginner. I will get into enemies later because tick is a very specific part of that. Heavy shields, as you can see here, is what I was talking about earlier. As in, reduce speed and increase the amount of charge you have. Such as this thing only has 40 charge, this thing has 80 charge. It also reduces your damage more. This being 40%, this being 52.5%. Very valuable, but also very costly. The medium shield only reduces damage by 5, but it drastically increases charge. So it's up to you whether you actually want that. Around 12% increase, depending on how much you want. But Mark IIs and Mark IIIs can also give you different abilities depending on what exactly you want from it. Combat Mark IIs, Tactical Mark IIs, and Looting Mark IIs can only do one thing at a time. The Mark IIIs have different variants. I will explain. But the Looting Mark II can automatically throw off attached ticks. Tactical Mark II can, upon shield break, deploy a small smoke grenade and has a fixed cooldown for that. When using these abilities, their durability would also decrease. Same with restore 1 health every 5 seconds when damage is taken. Effect is paused for 30 seconds. I mean, when damage is taken, the effect is paused for 30 seconds. Meaning it can't be used in combat. Effectively, at least. This is Apollo.
Come in, Raider. But mind the tripwire. Just kidding. Mostly.
He's also a jokester. He sells various gadgets. Barricade kits, various mines, ziplines, gas grenades, sniper blast grenades, large smoke grenades. The small smokes you can make yourself, and they're not very effective. Gas mine, light impact grenades, as well as light sticks you can see in dark places. Excuse me. Raider flare allows you to shoot up a Raider flare. I'll actually cover that in the next time we're in Sparonza. Ignore these, that's an instrument. But yeah, this guy sells various gadgets that can be used in your quick slot. Now on to Celestial, or Celestine.
Nobody's been bothering you?
Nope. But Celestial specifically requires seeds. You'll never want to get rid of seeds.
No longer mixing in sawdust with the flour.
I wonder how that tastes. But anyway, you can get seeds from pretty much destroying any nature parts for seeds. Or most nature parts. But basically, seeds are her only currency. The more expensive an item is, the more seeds you require. But she sells topside materials, very valuable to any raider such as me, which requires
I appreciate
things like gun parts,
not too many
as well as speaker components, rope, and sensors.
Thought you might like that.
Thank you, Celestine. Then there's Shawnee in security.
Don't make any strange movements by the slingshots, alright?
She requires cred, which is a completely unique, different currency.
9 times out of 10, a quiet radar means a broken radar.
True. But she requires cred for all her items. Some items are more useful than others, such as the recorder and shaker and acoustic guitar, basically only being for entertainment purposes, while Raider hatch keys are incredibly valuable. However, you can make them yourself. At a different level, though. The way you get cred is through this. Completing feats. The feats are split into 2 things. 1 is doing something, and 2 is like reoccurring feats. You can also re-roll your challenges. These are decks. They all require cred for you to be able to use, but not to get. All decks currently are free. For now, except for this store, which requires an in-game currency you need to buy. Customization, it's pretty basic. Raider suits, backpack attachment, and backpack trinket. There's also your arc tool, which you can customize. I'm a big spender. As you can see here, I have a looting Mark III, Cautious. There are two types of looting, to my knowledge at least. There is the survival, which allows you, when down and stationary, to regenerate up to 75% of your max downed health. When you're downed, you can constantly bleed to death. But when you have this, or another player heals you, that stops it. For the survivor looting, it allows you to regenerate. You cannot regenerate when downed aside from this. The only other way to stop bleeding is for another player to essentially give you a bandage. Or a defib, which reses you. If that is an enemy player or friendly player. In normal games, they can just pick you up. If you're not running solo, that is. Cautious, upon shield break, automatically administers a weak adrenaline shot. Has a fixed cooldown. Excuse me. But essentially, it also has the increased attachments. It also does various different attachment things. Such as looting Mark III Survivor, I don't have my goggles anymore. Instead, I have a deployable item, which means something like mines, a barricade kit, zip lines, door blockers, which I was talking about earlier, and a remote raider flare. And it also, you'll notice, I have less backpack slots and a bit more safe pocket slots, as well as an increased carrying capacity by 10. You can see various items do various things, such as if I were to equip Looting Mark III Flanking, it increases pistol and hand cannon, which this is what this is. Here we have an anvil, which is the weapon I was showing earlier. It is called a hand cannon, but this increases its equip and unequip time by 30%. You also see it has a similar backpack slot option for the survivor. You also get more augmented slots, and it also slightly decreases the amount to carry. Same with, you also get that same exact one extra slot. You can also see the composition in this little diagram here. But I prefer the Looting Mark III Cautious. I prefer to scout out places before visiting them. You can also bring in items whenever you want for other players. For example, Diraj. I would be giving him a Pharaoh Mark IV with some ammo to go with it. Where is that other? These are your crafting stations, too. Workbench you will have right off the bat. You can craft basic items and necessities. You cannot make traps until you get that Tinkerer's thing I mentioned. Tinkerer perk. You can craft basic pharaohs, snitchers, kettles, as well as a looting Mark I and a light shield. Energy clip and launcher ammo are more specific. You will never want to craft those unless you're in late game. Heavy ammo, shotgun ammo, medium ammo, and light ammo are all specific to specific weapons, such as light ammo requiring the hairpin, stitcher, and kettle. And various other things like the pistol. Here, this is the weapons, gunsmith specifically. I have various blueprints which allow you to unlock other items. Gray, green, blue, pink for attachments. Then there's the same thing with weapons. Like, certain weapons require certain things, like gun parts, mechanical components, simple gun parts, mechanical components, like or advanced mechanical components there. Mod parts, wires, duct tape, you name it. Like, bam, I just crafted that. Or, bam, I can just craft this. Then there's also upgrading weapons you can do here. Bam. Now that banana is a Mark III, which increases its fire rate and reduced reload time. You can see in that bottom left of the thing. Of the little diagram. But I have max leveled this thing out. It's Mark III, the gunsmith, that would be. It requires various resources to upgrade all of these, except for the workbench. I'll get into Scrappy. Same thing with the explosive station. You can craft various explosives, such as Deadline, one of the most powerful ones being Wolfpack and Deadline. Mines of various types. Trigger grenade is essentially a C4 explosive. A Wolfpack is essentially a multiple secret grenades packed into one. Science allows you to craft various components for other things that you would want, such as complex gun parts, other gun parts, explosive compounds, motion cores, circuitry, advanced electrical components, pure explosives, durable blankets, you name it. Medical allows you to craft other things. Some things you'll notice I have more than others, remember that. Such as the defibrillator. No one has a defibrillator on base. I found a blueprint for it. I'm often called a medic. Surge shield chargers are more advanced shield chargers. Same with sterilized bandages. Here are herbal bandages to normal bandages. Adrenaline shot is also very useful to you, since it's the one I mentioned earlier about giving you infinite stamina for 10 seconds. I have upgraded all these to max rank, by the way. Zip lines, barricade kits, Raider hatch keys. This is the thing I was talking about. This allows you to open a hatch temporarily, which allows you to leave topside into sparonza instantly without having to wait, and also not attracting other players. Very valuable when you have other items. However, you don't want to use these things constantly. Photoelectric sensor allows you to hide from arc. Arc specifically, not other players. As in, they cannot detect you when you're using this. You can also craft binoculars, lure grenades, which send out a blaring noise to a lot of things, to Arc and other players. Chuck this in another direction, Arc will be instantly distracted, not caring about everything else but that thing until it is destroyed. Firecrackers, I think they're just pleasant. They're not really good for anything. Then we have the, what's it called? Gear bench. Allows you to craft other various augments, such as the Looting Mark III, Survivor and Cautious, as well as the Flanking. Same, you can also craft heavy shields, medium shields, and light shields. Then there's Scrappy. Every time you go into a match or go topside, Scrappy will go out and collect some items for you. It's pretty constant and linear of how he collects things. It's always at level 1, he'll collect 1 of every item. At level 2, he'll collect 2 of every item, and so on, so on. Scrappy is very useful when you're not doing very good and you're getting constantly killed and you can't get out. He can give you a boost by suddenly claiming all your items for you. I mean, you can claim all the items from him. This includes seeds, very valuable. But these basic resources may not seem like much, but they can be a backbone of your arsenal, such as crafting grenades, repairing certain things which have durability, such as, see here, this anvil is slightly damaged. Repairing it requires these resources. Repair is back to durability, 130 durability. Also, when you're upgrading an item, its durability will increase. But Scrappy is very useful for that. Alright, I'm going to hop into a match with Diraj and explain a few other things. This here is the map. For now, there are 5 places you could go with varying difficulty and terrain. The first one you will be finding is Dam Battlegrounds, then Buried City, then Spaceport, then Blue Gate, then lastly, one of the most difficult ones, Stella Montis, which is completely indoors. Each of them has unique enemy compositions, well, mostly, and as you can see here, each of them has some kind of little orb next to them, which indicates a modified version of that map. For example, there's normal Dam Battlegrounds, then there's one with an electromagnetic storm, which has certain modifiers such as lightning strikes, lower visibility, no raider hatches, and fewer return points, but has increased loot value, and the lightning strikes can actually damage arc, and if it hits the ground, there's a chance to drop a fossilized lightning, which is very valuable. Buried City, which is mostly a desert town map, has Hurricane, which has higher threat arc, debris that constantly buffles your shield and you cannot run in it, as well as increased loot value. Then there's also normal map modifiers, such as Spaceport, which can, as well as, well, every other map except for Stella Montis, can occasionally have a unique enemy or modifier, such as Spaceport right now, which has Matriarch, excuse me, a Matriarch spawning on it. It is a very dangerous enemy, never go near it. Though most players on the server will be targeting it for its loot value. I do not advise you do it when you're so new to the game. And once you have picked a spot you want to go to, you will then ready up and wait for the rest of your team when they are ready. That's where a player can spawn. But anyway, here we are going to be testing what happens when a player goes down. Raj has not actually gone down now, because he has survived a non-lethal fall. Once he goes back up there, and falls down again, he will promptly be downed. This will cause a series of events. As you can see here, Raj has died, or has been downed. This will cause a raider flare to go up, alerting every nearby raider. Additionally, he will no longer be able to use his weapons or properly move. He'll only be able to crawl. From enemy raiders, this will not be a revive thing, this will be a knockout thing, where you can go up and just punch them. For us, we can properly revive him, or use a defibrillator if we want to get him up really quickly and give him some health. We can also here see a perfect demonstration of healing other players use on other. And that is that. What else was I going to demonstrate? Here we have something called a security breach item. Daraj, try opening this.
No.
See, Raj cannot open this. This is because I have the security breach perk, which allows me to specifically open this. But even once I have security breached this, looked inside, and taken a few items even, Raj cannot look into this even after it is broken. Right?
Yes.
Wait, you can access that, or no?
No.
Alright. Since I do not need some of these items, I will be taking a few of them, and the rest I'll be giving to Raj. This is very useful for one person on your team to always be able to do that. There's a pistol for you. Additionally, Here we can find a locked door. This requires specifically a power rod, which is an item you can craft. But most keys will not be able to be crafted. Instead, you can only find them around other maps. You enjoying that pistol there, bud? With the power rod, this is more a unique thing. But once you open it, you will be able to get on the other side of this door like any other door. But you cannot... But once it is unlocked, you cannot relock it. So, once opened, there's no going back. That includes if you can be ambushed. Thank you for watching this training video, scavengers. The next video I will be releasing will be focused more on combat and the other arc enemies there are. But for now, stay safe, Raider.